Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Viber got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. And I am not even going to watch Jerome Bowles today. It's just a complete, utter embarrassment. Everything that's going on over there, the fact that they can fudge the job numbers and be off by 1 million jobs and come out there and act like they know what the fuck they're doing, it's a joke. They should be using some sort of AI system, some sort of data that is actually in tune with what's going on. And the Fed is now stuck in this stupid dual mandate where we need to keep an eye on inflation and keep our 2% target met, as well as the jobs market. Well, you fucked the jobs market up completely. You manipulated the shit out of it. You caused basically a recession. And now we're cutting rates when the job market is appearing to actually be healthy. So it makes no sense. And Jerome is going to hold out here because his replacement that's coming in is going to just cock to whatever Trump wants. The Fed and the Treasury are going to work hand in hand. And Jerome is sticking to his principles and keeping that separation. And he's going to hold out for as long as possible so he's not remembered as the guy that screwed it all up. He wants to go down in history as being, someone that was competent. And it's embarrassing. And the dual mandate. All right, so inflation, they need to get to 2%. Clearly, they can't do that. But they can't come out and admit it and say, yeah, we're going to adjust our target to 3%. Now all the countries around the world look at the U.S. and say, all right, you guys are a joke. You can't figure out policy to get to 2%. Clearly, you're incompetent. We're going to need more yield on our bonds. And that's why I think the 2 years are starting to go up. So you're starting to see that's playing out in real terms. And as soon as our cut comes in and Japan raises their rates, we're going to see things start to really kick off here. And I think that they're all waiting for an excuse or a scapegoat to blame this for. And I'm with Jay Claver. I think it's going to be oil or some sort of war or bullshit that drives the price up, and immediately oil causes inflation as soon as oil rises. So that's the easiest thing to do. And I'm with him there, but we'll see how it plays out. And that's why we're here to accumulate the blue chip assets that should not be down at these insane prices where they are right now. This market is so manipulated, it's disgusting. And Axelar is a gem that should never be down here. All right, this coin was up to $2.37. Well, $2.25 on CoinMarketCap. Some charts are different, but it always held the floor at like 30 cents. Ever since launch, it never dipped below 30 cents until this year. And I'm going to talk about, we'll just get into it right now, how important Axelar is and what they're building for the future. They are the reason. I've probably watched 25 hours of Axelar being on stage at all the different conferences and being alongside Ripple and Franklin Templeton and Goldman and BlackRock and just talking about what they're building and how important they are to tokenization and where everything is headed. They're the interoperability for everything. They bridge 80 different blockchains together. Axelar connects institutions to entire on-chain ecosystems through one integration. From token launches to trading and yield, everything flows through a single, secure, compliant entry point. Guys, like the Axelar is a gem. You know, I was sleeping on it a couple years ago. And just recently, in the last 6 months, I've taken time to look into it because it hasn't been out for long. It came out right at the start of the bear market in just October 2022. So it's only been out for like 3 years. No, 4 years actually. Yeah, 3 years. 23, 24, 25. And they've been building consistently. And I look at this price and it's just like, if this was up to $2.25 before any of this stuff has been implemented yet, everything that they're doing, you could deploy your stablecoin, real world asset, or fund across 80 blockchains instantly. With interchain token service, multi-chain distribution becomes turnkey, complete with a programmable controls, compliance, and liquidity routing built in. Trade with the deepest liquidity. Access leading on-chain trading venues through full port, starting with Hyperliquid. Trade seamlessly from any chain. And that's what Axelar is going to do. In the future, we're going to be able to go into our wallet and just trade Bitcoin to Axelar, or Bitcoin to Pulse Chain, or Bitcoin to Flare, or Axelar over to Solana. Everything is going to be all interoperable. And we just need a couple more regulations. And they're starting to scare the shit out of everybody with tokenization. And I'm starting to see people on Twitter freaking out about, oh, this is the world we did not want. But guys, at the same time, people are building the alternatives. While they're going to scare you and say, oh, it's a tokenized world. They're going to control everything. We're all fucked. Da, 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 da. It's such bullshit. It's the same fear porn as the Cuban Missile Crisis and communism and the Red Army in the 50s to the terrorist bullshit that's all created. None of it's organic. I watch these people travel around the world, and these guys that go backpacking into China and into Africa and into all around the world, and they're the most friendly people in the world. Everyone is hospitable. It's their culture to take them in. So we've been brainwashed through movies and television and the media to think the polar opposite of what's actually going on in reality. So at the same time, while Ripple and these guys are holding us hostage, allegedly, they're building out the solution for decentralized recovery. So all of our seed phrases can be given to people on the blockchain without multi-sig. Everyone can have privacy, and we all keep each other's seed phrases, a portion of it. It's brilliant. And who's working on this? This is Ripple. This is Hedera. This is Algorand, Cardano, XRPL, Hashgraph, all working together to build a better future. Like, there's enough young people who think like us that made a lot of money and got a seat at the table, that bought their way in. So I just don't see, the demonic system is on its way out. All the bullshit, there should be an Elon and AI running the economy right now, telling us where to send money. It's so freaking stupid we're not doing that. But why? Because it exposes all the corruption and all the fraud. And they're scurrying like rats right now to erase it and end it, because they know with the future, with this technology, you can't pull all this money laundering anymore. Or you're going to have a different private blockchain that you're going to have to use. But regardless, it's the world is changing, guys, right in front of our eyes. The OCC chiefs, bank blocking crypto custody is a recipe for irrelevance. The comptroller of the currency, Jonathan Gould, warned that restricting national trust banks from digital assets would stifle innovation. Banks trying to block crypto custody from the federal system are pushing A recipe for irrelevance. The nation's top banking regulator warned on Monday as he defended over $2 trillion in existing digital custodial activity that the industry opponents claim violates federal law. Jonathan Gould told the Blockchain Association that efforts to prevent the national trust banks from engaging in crypto custody ignores decades of precedent and risks stagnating the entire banking system. It's important that we do not confine banks, including national trust banks, to the technologies or businesses of the past. That's a recipe for irrelevance. The pushback comes as the Independent Community Bankers of America have urged the OCC to deny crypto charter applications, claiming they exploit regulatory loopholes. So here we go, guys. Like, this is all coming. This is the last part of they fight us phase. First they laugh at you, or first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, and then they join you, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm talking about. But it's all coming. There's enough young people who believe in a free, good future to where these old tyrannical systems just don't work. People sitting at the table like, just look at people now and call them out like, what the fuck? That is not going to work anymore. Your old thinking, your boomer asses got us into this mess. We can't do this shit anymore. Like, how much money do these people need, but they don't do anything good with it? It's nuts how that works. Everything has to be controlled so perfectly. No one can get ahead unless you go and you do the polar opposite of what the mainstream tells you is crazy or taboo. The Pokemon cards I've collected in the last 6 years have outperformed everything that I've held. They've 3 to 4x'd across the board. I wish I didn't dump 30K, 40K into crypto the last couple of years, and I put it all into Pokemon. I would have been way better off. And now it's just starting to get public. Kevin O'Leary and these guys and Gary Vaynerchuk are all making it popular because they can make money. There's enough money for them to make now. But you need to be there and think and be a trendsetter and think, oh, there's money to be made here. Awesome. With all kinds of collectibles, with art, with old video games, with currency. You're going through and finding old coins that are silver or copper pennies. Now that there's no more pennies, who knows what they're going to be worth in 10, 15 years. But you got to think ahead. And the policy, guys, it's all coming. Everything is out there for us to go and buy our XRP and send it to a ledger where there's no clawbacks. They cannot claw back XRP anywhere. The stable coins and certain projects on the XRP ledger, yes. But XRP itself cannot be fucking clawed back. If you have it on a ledger, nobody can take it back from you or take it out of your wallet. It's there. It exists. Same thing with Hedera. Same thing with Pulse Chain. So we have our assets. We have our custody already. And we have the DREC Alliance that is building the future to where we don't need seed phrases anymore. We have all of our friends, or they're called helpers. If you have 10 helpers and add a new one, then all the helpers automatically replace their 1/10 share of the secret with an 11th share. And if a helper doesn't respond for too many days in a row and the user doesn't respond to notification, then the other helpers automatically replace their 1/10 share to a 1/9. It protects an account with a single key. It hides how many helpers you have and who they are and what keys they are. It can be used to protect anything digital: keys, passwords, combination, identities, wallets, everything. Every day, your device automatically and invisibly contacts each other's helpers' devices and checks whether they still have their share of their secret. Like, guys, this technology already exists. The military, the government, they've been using this shit for 20 years. When they leak it to us, that means there's zero threat in this stuff that we can take it and build or threaten what they're actually working on. So they already have the solution to all this. They're going to leak it to us when the time is right. So just get ahead of it. Japan, we've been talking about it, is about to unwind. That's the most important thing we need to pay attention to. And they seem like they can kick this fucking can down the road forever. I never thought we'd be sitting here in 2020, going into 2026, and none of this shit has happened yet. No CBDC launched over there. Nothing with Tether. Bitcoin still being propped up as digital fucking gold. Tom Lee's selling the Wall Street on tokenizing the world on Ethereum. at their 12 transactions a second. It's a joke. Maybe just like crypto is all vaporware, and until the trillions actually come on chain and are moving around, it's not worth the effort to come here yet. I don't know. Or the economy is just so bad right now, and they've been sucking and pulling liquidity out of everywhere, bleeding everyone dry on purpose. I don't know, guys. Like, we're just in unprecedented times right now where the money printing and everything is just out of control. The Fed has lost control. They just jacked rates in 2022 with the highest we've ever seen, and it didn't work. It didn't do anything. So that just proved that their mandates and their tricks and their tools, it's all bullshit. It's all a smokescreen. If that wasn't the case, why would they have to go back and adjust jobs by 900,000 or 1,000,000 jobs? Like, that's embarrassing. I mean, a dog could do a better job. But that's the world we live in, I guess. So all we got is Axelar pumping today a little bit, but probably just going to bleed it all back and give this whole pump down. It'll probably come back down to 12.5, 11 cents. And then who knows? Same thing with Pulse Chain. We just had a beautiful pump. Doubled up. Almost. Well, from the bottom, doubled up, but we had a God candle and then immediate sell-off. But you know what? We're now kind of making a higher floor. And this is what we want to see. This is on Pulse Chain. This is the opposite of what's going on everywhere else in crypto. It's max extracted. I think Pulse Chain has been so max extracted, it can't really get any worse. But time will tell. I mean, there are so many just scumbags on Pulse Chain. I feel bad for people that can't see through it and just keep giving these scammers money. I guess we're not going to be able to see the bubbles today on Pulse Chain, but whatever. Let's look at Dex Screener. Everything's coming back on the hourly. That's good. PTGC and UFO down a little bit. I bought a little more of that recently, but I focused on adding to Axelar, big clear pool, DYNEX before they go to the securities or the tokenized stock. I wanted to just add as much as possible. And this stuff can just happen so fast. Now that we cut rates and Japan raises, guys, shit can break within a week. And we saw how fast on 1010 there's such thin liquidity, especially even now there's less liquidity, that another crisis is going to just turn into a black swan. And I just fear that they're preparing for this, and that's the excuse to roll all this out. Because if the economy's good and everything is under the illusion everything's great, why do you need to change all this shit? But until there's the problem, and it just feels coincidental with stuff like Flare. All of the airdrops for 3 years, we've been collecting our passive income, our monthly drops, and they end in January. So almost all the supply is out right in January, almost right as the turmoil ends, while Flare has signed contracts with every exchange and institution to earn yield on their XRP. It's like, how did that timing play out like that shit? It's crazy. My plan is for 10 years, so I just have to remain numb and exactly, bro. And when you can have that 10-year plan and you can zoom out, you don't give a shit. You can just laugh at this stuff because you didn't go all in, you didn't over leverage yourself, and that's why you get people that are so insanely bitter on Twitter. Shout out Tiger, Crypto God, and the cutest little boxer, Zelda. He's using her for marketing. Like, P Tiger, guys, is holding and doing so good. I hope you guys got into it when I started talking about it. Once I talked to Tiger Crypto God in person. Yeah, I put a tweet out and people were just freaking out. There's a Pulse Chain tweet, and I just wrote like this guy just like saying, "Oh, Pulse Chain's dead." Da 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 da. Da. And I just retweeted it saying that I'm gonna ride this shit to zero. I don't care. And like people went nuts. Like they literally went crazy. Right here. After everything's been said, Richard Hart still doesn't understand reality. The trust in you is dead, Richard. Nobody wants you here no one wants to be here anymore. There's an army of people waiting for one thing, an exit. I'll ride it all the way to zero. Nothing can ever shake me out. Plus, I know a few people who feel the same way. Nice try, though, Boris. Oh, I can't. Why can't I see the comments? Because people freaked out. And they can't handle the fact that because they went all in. They were told in their head, if they sacrifice for this, they're going to get a 10,000x. K for K told them Pulse X is going to 10,000x because the buy and burn is going to literally buy and burn so much supply. You're going to have to sell it because it's going to just burn everything. And they expected to make that much money, and they sold all their other cryptos for it and went all in, and now they got screwed. And that's the only way you end up this bitter. It does not make sense. And when you can have that long-term outlook, you just keep chugging along. What up, Goo? And even Goo, he has his fun. He goes crazy in the DJ and the memes for a little while, but it's a dead end. It's just such a PvP game that you get burnt out of it, you get sick of it, and you end up just focusing on the 10 blue chips you want to hold for the future. And that's like the smartest thing you can do is just focus on the coins you believe in the most. And for me, it's like I hold like 25 tokens around there. But the thing for me is most of them are in my IRA. Like most of my XRP and Quant and Hedera and Ondo, XDC, Sushi, Swap, Filecoin, Gala, IMX, they're all in the IRA. So I'm not selling, like I'm going to take profits in some of them. Yeah. And hopefully I can, add to my blue chips in there, but this is long-term plays. So for like this cycle right now, like I'm really holding, 20 or so coins. And it's the same ones that I've been talking about for the last 4 years. Yeah, I'm not logged in here. Nothing has changed from on Stellar having Stronghold, Velo, and Relio. And now we have Phoenix providing a ton of yield to turn and buy more of those three with. So it's passive income. It's getting myself to understand, all right, I'm going to buy this bag and I'm never going to touch it. I'm only going to live off of the rewards. And I'm getting 17 to 18 Phoenix every 3 days. Every week I'm getting about 40. And even though it's like 20 cents right now, it's still over 1 XLM per coin. And when I've already gotten almost 400 Relio back. And at the top, Relio was like $270 a token. So that's what was over $1,000 worth. And it's going to go back there. So getting myself to hold this Phoenix and just keep rotating into the blue chips to get into Spark Decks and stake. What I have 20,000 coins on there. So what is it? $400? Or no, now I have 30,000. I add in more. So it's worth $500. So I'm big dicking over there with my $500 earning pennies of rewards every day. But it's 21% APY. So if I can just keep adding to that and get it to $1,000 maybe in the next 2 months if the market stays suppressed, and then we do 100x from there, and now I got 100 grand making 20%. Now I got 20 G's, baby. Now I can rotate that back into something or just use it as profits and not have to kill my principal. And then with Flare and with Firelight, it's now here. So I was able to put like, it was like $1,500 I put into there. And now I think I have another 50 that I've DCA'd into since and I'm waiting for the next round. So getting used to now putting our XRP into FXRP, and then you can do also, if you have the STXRP, you can use that in 2 different pools and you can earn yield on it twice. So guys, this shit, all of the institutions and exchanges are going to be using this. So we're just front running them. So I think this is going to blow up. Hugo was talking about, and then by mid-January, having like $5 billion come onto here from banking partners that have already signed up and have NDAs. Like I just watched Hugo on Paul Barron Network last like 3 days ago, and it was an incredible interview, guys. Like it's so obvious Flare is a chosen one. And now we have all our airdrops ending, so we can put it into the Flare P or the Wrap Flare. So if you have 150 or 100,000, you want to do the Flare P and stake it because the yield is higher than delegating it. But with SparkDex, now every week paying me back SparkDex and Flare, and then the Wrapped Flare paying you back the every epoch. So twice a week, you get your rewards there. And then twice a month, you get your staking rewards from the Flare P, and then you get your monthly airdrop. So we have that for 2 more months, and it ends in January. So then by then, we got our bags. And I know I've like almost 4x from what my initial airdrop was supposed to be on day 1 before they did the 15% upfront. So I've way hit above my goals because, guys, they launched at like 30 something cents. So 100,000 Flare used to be worth over 30 G's, and now it's worth freaking $1,000. It will go back there. And getting ourselves now in the mindset of adding to these bags and these cores that are paying us nonstop. That is what you want to get yourself into the habit of doing, because this is where crypto is going. We're going to become our own banks. We need to earn 15 to 18% to break even with devaluation and inflation and the bullshit. So you have to find stuff like SparkDex that's paying 21%. Like, damn, did they do a 0.5 point cut? No way. Well, my fucking computer is so slow. That if they did that, bro, I don't know if that's good or bad. I feel like that's going to create a shock. Yeah, I can't even fucking open tabs. But the good news, I got my new computer. I think I'm going to have to set it up and start streaming on that one. Nah, bro, there's no way they're doing 50 points. They can't. That just signals that they fucked up and what they were doing isn't working. So it ain't happening, bro. 25 is 100%. So Liberty Swap now just raised the public bridge limit to 20 ETH per swap with a 100 ETH target before Christmas. It looks like they're preparing Pulse Chain for much larger inflows. At the same time, Richard's keeping his X profile clean, showcasing his products, tightening the narrative, ensuring the ProveX site is accessible. It looks like he's preparing the onboarding funnel. What it all looks like is preparation ahead of the match being struck. P-DI to $1. I would love P-DI to go to $1. I just don't think it's possible or it's happening anymore. I just feel like Richard would go to Axelar here and just come and launch his own stable coin, completely decentralized through one of these platforms where you put up the collateral, you mint your stable coins, you can't do anything else with them. You have your supply, it's not going to change, and now he controls it and he can do it legally. So I don't know. If it does get to $1, that would be sick. But yeah, Solana, Goo, look at this. They're cooked. Solana trenches are definitely cooked. I'm 70% stable as the rest blue. Exactly. Goo, he gets it. He's ahead of the curve. And look at this. Solana This is a sign that they are dead. This is desperation. They're now latching on to the XRP community for marketing, for attention, because it's so bad over there. I told you the day they cut that live streaming shit off of Pump.Fund, that was the top for the meme coin stuff over there. And sure enough, yes, it was. Yes, it was. 80 will be big in Q1. Well, I fucking hate Cardano, but I still hold. I sold all of them, but like 2,000 in my IRA that I just refused to sell because that was my rule. Always hold on to like 10 to 15%. Don't sell out of your bags. But I think the American crypto that gets lumped in there is going to give it the narrative to pump. I think Trump's going to do something with taxes on crypto and American cryptos and income tax. So if that happens, like, we're setting up for the craziest pumps ever. So that's why it is just so important to get into the blue chips right now. The CFTC to pilot tokenized collateral in derivatives markets, starting with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. There we go. The CFTC has introduced a program that will allow tokenized digital assets to be used as margin collateral in U.S. derivatives, making it one of the most significant regulatory shifts for crypto since the passage of the Genius Act. The initiative aims to bring digital asset activity into supervised U.S. markets and reduce reliance of the offshore scamming trading venues. This is huge, guys. Again, everything is coming into place, slowly happening. And now they need to create the problem. And then they're going to usher in the solution because everything, all the regulations, all the partnerships, everything is set up. Everything's good to go. And then we can usher in the solution. So let's check out what's going on in Qubic. There's always something here. Theory or destiny. Some people think everything was encoded from the beginning. The address in Bitcoin Genesis Block 4, the coded date, April 13th, 2027. Novo Zaloto, new gold. Qubic, the final level. Do you think this was planned since day one? Is it the end game of crypto and AI? A hidden project from the genesis of Bitcoin itself. So back here in the 15 Qubic address, they received 50 Bitcoin, then using the bait index, put this in there. So the address that was obviously started by Come From Beyond with Qubic. 15 is Q in that code, Qubic. BB is 2, 2. So I don't know how the fuck you got April from 2, 2. But WF 27. Oh, 4, 27. Okay. So 2, 2, 2, 2 plus 1 plus 6 is 13. April 13th, 2027. Nouveau Zold. New gold. Altogether, Qubic equals the new gold on April 13th, 2027. More conspiracy? I don't know. How did he know about the 400,000 Bitcoin getting sold? I don't know. You guys, today, Qubic had their hackathon. 1,654 participants, 265 teams, 102 projects submitted. Walking through the submissions tells another story. Teams tackled real infrastructure gaps across both tracks. The Nostromo track delivered DeFi solutions, micropayment systems, and GPU marketplaces. The Easy Connect track proved that you don't need to write code to build on the blockchain with automated reward systems, market intelligence tools, and ID verification solutions. Security verification, social impact, and the diversity of approaches showed an ecosystem defining itself in real time. Special recognition to the teams who kept everything running. Jorge from Easy Connect, Javier from Nostromo and the Qubic core team, Joe, Tom, and Ladio, Mr. Rose. So this was huge, I guess. So I got to watch this live stream too because the Solana bridge is coming. another huge part of Qubic. Now with the MetaMask exposure, the Ledger stuff coming, and now the Solana bridge, then Dogecoin mining. Guys, Qubic, oh my God, I can't describe how bullish I am on this freaking coin. It's the sleeping giant in the AI ecosystem. And then my last match is they have the next. I'm pissed that I didn't get that computer in time for the last round of beta testing, but there's a next one coming up. So I'll be live streaming the shit out of that. I got to make sure Eco lets me, though. They might not want it to publicly be seen, but follow my last match. There's a, the old one, the MLM, my last match account. The dude's being a dickhead, won't hand it over, and he wanted some ridiculous amount of money for it. So they had to start a new one. So this is it right here, my_last match. So give him a follow on Qubic because Eco's one of the GOATs over there and he deserves it. And Garth too, they've been crushing. I got the NFT, so I'm ready for when the game goes live. I'll be live streaming that too. But this Neuraxon, I still don't understand it exactly. But what if AI never stopped thinking, not step by step, but a flow of consciousness like the human mind? That's Neuraxon. So what these guys are building is just next level. I'm not smart enough to understand the blogs and the papers because I don't know this shit in depth and in detail. So it's like a different language when I'm trying to read it. The flow state, your brain doesn't process life in frames. It works in smooth time, constantly integrating signals. Neuraxon does the same through continuous time dynamics. Timing equals meaning. In Neuraxon, timing carries meaning. A signal's arrival moment, its length, and its rhythm all influence what the network understands. It's like music. The pauses matter. Instant adaptation. Continuous processing lets Neuraxon adapt mid-signal. Think robotics, agents, real-time decision-making, less pre-trained model, more thinking organism. The shift is simple but profound, from rigid, stepwise intelligence to fluid reasoning. So here, there's a demo here. I'm not going to play that. I'll probably kill my computer. But guys, Qubic, I'm telling you, it's special. QMine, the best passive income generator out there. Holders are going to be blessed from the My Last Match rewards. So all Garth is tying in with My Last Match too. So you see QMine, Garth, MLM, all working together is what we want to see. That's how a community grows and is strong. And you don't see any of the bullshit over there, guys. It's the only Discord I've been in where you're not allowed to cuss. I literally said ban his ass. This is crazy. And I got a week timeout for saying ban his ass. So they're that strict over there. They don't play games, and I actually appreciate that. So if you're not looking at Qubic yet, I don't know what you're doing. If you're not looking at Axelar yet and don't have a bag down here where we're literally 80% below where the floor has been for the first 3 freaking years of this project, and then all of a sudden, as they sign all these different partners, as all of their apps and their solutions and products start to go live and are used, the price collapses to a new low. Make it make sense. They're on stage with the biggest players in the world saying how they have built the solutions to help all of you, and yet they're making new lows on the chart. That sums up all of crypto. The most bullish news now ain't affecting shit. So we need to see Japan unwind. Something has to play out. Some kind of liquidity crisis, something. And I have a feeling it's going to be here shortly in the next couple weeks by the end of the year. Something with oil is going to happen. In Venezuela or the Strait of Hormuz, Rand Bum Banter's favorite thing to talk about. The Strait of Hormuz and oil. 88 seems to be a dead coin on. Exactly, bro. We all do. We still were sold on the dream of Cardano, and we can't get rid of it. We have that emotional trauma from being in it since 2020 or 2019, wherever I found it at like 3 cents. I think it was summer. I think, yeah, it was the summer of 2019. I had to drive down from New York to Delaware. And me and my buddy went down there, and I sent $5,000 over, and I started a Kraken account, and I was able to get Polkadot. I was able to get Cardano at 3 cents. I got ETH Lend, which will turn into Aave at like 5 cents or something. But I ended up sending that to a different wallet and got hacked. So I lost all that. I bought 300 quant for like $1,500, and I was balling, and then got hacked and lost it all. So yeah, there's some trauma, I think, still, and I just can't let go of Cardano. So still holding a couple thousand of them. It's funny how that works. We're all in that boat. But it's all good, guys. I'm so incredibly happy that like Luke Duke was able to come and scoop up 25 quant for like less than $2,000. That's crazy. When it was down to $70, scooping some more up, like that's a blessing, because quant is going to be an expensive ass token in the next couple of years. And if you look on Twitter and follow Tokenizer and some of these guys, the transactions quant is doing, they're moving millions and millions of dollars of quant around all these different wallets stealthily with 10,000 quant and no ETH for gas in there. So they're doing the same thing with Stronghold, because they're setting up all of the infrastructure right now. But yeah, it's crazy how much everything is falling. Even XRP and XLM, like I remember they were up like on the year, even 100, 150% a month or two ago. And everything's just bleeding with all the bullish news coming out. And that's why you're supposed to feel the pain right now. You buy your coins and they're worth less next week, but that's okay. That's what you're supposed to do, because you're getting more bang for your buck. The fact that you can scoop up 1,000 Axelar right now for $130. 1,000 Axelar used to cost $2,200 a year ago. So let that sink in. So these, every $100 buy is a $2,000 buy a year ago. With Qubic, 1 billion coins right now is what, $1,000? It was 11,000 almost when I first found it. So it's 9 times cheaper. So you need to think like that and appreciate these opportunities, because they're not going to last. So when you have that long-term horizon, it makes crypto so much easier for you. But don't get shaken out. Don't listen to idiots out there. Do your own thing. Have conviction. Do your own research. You're just going to get led astray by the mainstream, lied to, shilled garbage, when all along just stacking up the best assets while no one was talking about them. That was the best plan all along, and it will be in a couple years. I know it, guys. So smash that like button. I'm out of here. I'm still trying to get over this sickness. This shit's wild. Everyone I know and their families have been sick for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, fam, we will see you not tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow night, like 10 p.m., 10:30, a little later. Got to go out to dinner for Lindsay's birthday. So smash that like button, or go to vibrafarm.com and order something off of Lindsay's website. The tallows and creams and everything she makes are so good. Highly recommend them.
Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Viber got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on a daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.